All right, Stacey, so how did you hear about us?
Actually, through my daughter is a good friend of Megan's, and
Awesome.
Megan told me for a long time, or told Katie. Katie told Megan that I was having a hard time last year around Thanksgiving, and she kept saying, "Bring her in, bring her in," and of course, I didn't listen, and I went through a couple of different therapies, and the last one that I went through, like I had brain surgery, so I believe in therapy. I totally believe in it. But the last one that I went to scared me off of therapy because the last time when I was having all this head, like my neck was so big, it looked like I was the Rock Johnson. And it was so tight. Like I had worked out, like muscle bound, and I don't. Haven't since the pandemic worked out like I should. But anyway, so I went to this one place and the girl, we didn't, I'm sure that they're really good for other people, but this time I just didn't connect with them at all. There was no, like, how could I explain what was going on? And in the midst of this, I was having an MS relapse at the same time, which decided to affect my upper body instead of my lower body, like my first MS attack did. And so I had like everything was like pins and needles in the back of my neck all the time. And so my MS doctor put me on some medication. Was wonderful. It was helping a lot, but then we went the therapy route to help try to bring this whole situation back under control. And so one of the places I went to, she put a thing on my head that had me pull a weight with my neck. I went home and I was absolutely ill for like 14 hours straight. And I mean in the bathroom ill. Just everything coming up and out of my person. And I was like, I'm not going back. No way. I'm not going back. And I was like, And so then I just started seeing Megan and I told her and she's like, well, maybe you need to try something else. And so at first I was just like, you feel so crappy that you feel like any bit of relief will make you feel wonderful. So as it started, by the second week, I started it relaxing a little bit in my neck. It just started coming down. It was slow, but she did a great job. I was like here like 3 days a week. And it finally started coming down to where now I feel bad for saying if something feels bad because I promised myself that I wouldn't feel bad if I felt so good. I would never say that I felt bad because I felt horrible. I mean, like on last Thanksgiving, I could not put my head, like I would wear my cap and I would like hit my head on the cabinets because I couldn't raise my neck up. And and it hurt. Just like I had a neck pillow and I kept putting my neck on the pillow all the time. I was exhausted. I'm sure, irritable to a lot of people. My family, they were great. But I just felt so bad that I don't want to complain about I feel so good now that I don't want to make a complaint because I was like, you better promise that you start feeling good. You can't complain about anything. Well, that was to myself. But then I'm like, okay, I have to change that programming because now I want to make sure I communicate to her when something is amiss.
So, what were the exact health concerns that you were coming in for?
Not being able to move my neck from side to side, up and down. But it's had an effect of it doesn't just stay with that. I have brain tumor. They took it out. The brain tumor was actually pressing on the esophagus. And so I thought once I had that surgery, esophagus will go back, everything will be fine. No. So it's been, I think, 18 years this past August that I had the surgery. And I thought I would always have to eat really, really super carefully because if I didn't make sure I drank water, to help things go down my esophagus that they would get stuck, and then you end up getting ill for the next 6 hours. She's opened that up to where I can eat without thinking about being careful. And it blows me away because I'm like, okay, stop talking, don't eat and talk, because you don't know what's going to happen. And there's only a few occasions where that, let's say on a scale from 1 to 10, when I first came in, my esophagus was at the 11. Right now, it's at like a 2.
That's awesome.
And so I feel so lucky that this has not only transformed my neck, my up and down, moving around, all that, it's straightened out my back, my lower back. I don't have pain in my hip like I did. Only pain when I do something really stupid, like moving stuff around the other day, and I'm like, oh, but then it was okay. It just some mild stretching seemed to pull it back in. Whereas before, if I had tried that mild stretch, it would be a no-go. It'd be like, we're not going back in there, forget it. We're gonna make you feel pain.
That's really awesome.
So I will forever continue with this kind of care because this is the best by far ever.
So what would you tell somebody that is interested in chiropractic but hasn't tried it yet?
Do it. If you think that it's not going to make a difference, at least give yourself 2 weeks of seeing somebody on a constant 2 to 3 times a week to try to feel how bad you are really feeling, because you don't realize all of the things that have been tensed up in your entire body, and it changes you when you don't feel well. I could go from 0 to 60 a lot faster when I'm in constant pain than when I'll listen to what's being said, slow down, and hear the discussion instead of thinking, no, I have to be right. Because in my brain's probably going, you need to sit down, and you hurt, and you need to get out of this conversation. So what do? And then what does that do? That does nothing. That does nothing but prolong another argument later, So there are so many things that I don't even know. I can't put into words exactly all the things that have positively been impacted. Well, I'll name a few. My irritability is better. I can walk farther. I can stay up longer. I sleep better. I haven't slept before I had brain surgery, maybe 45 minutes. After brain surgery, I went from between 2 and 4 hours, maybe, but not consistent. Now I can do 2 hours, no interruption. For me, that's a big deal. I don't know about everybody, but I've never been an 8-hour sleep person before I had surgery. So 8 hours isn't for me, but I usually like to get between 6 and 7. That seems to maintain me better throughout the day, whereas I'm being able to get that REM sleep that I was not getting before. I mean, I can guarantee it. I was not getting it. I did not have a sleep study, but I can tell you the way I feel. There's no way I was getting into REM category. Whereas now, the minute I lay down and get ready for bed, I can be out in like 15 minutes, maybe even 10, depending on, how long the day's been, But I don't sit up in bed going, oh, I can't fall asleep. I'm going to watch something stupid now because, whatever might be on, and then, trying to slow your brain down.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's so awesome. I'm so glad it's affected so many aspects of your life.
Oh, every aspect of my life. I can tell you every aspect of my life has been impacted in a positive way. There's nothing negative about what's going on. None.
So awesome.
If I'd known about this after I had brain surgery, even though I had to go through therapy of learning how to read, write, all that kind of thing all over again, I would have been here. I never thought that this kind of care would transform me in such a way that I feel really good. And I haven't felt this good since before I had surgery. I mean, because before when I had the brain tumor, I didn't feel good for about 2 years before they found it. So that's a long time. That's over 20 years that I have felt not good.
Well, that is so awesome.
And my MS is back under control. So I'm good there.
We are so happy for you, and we are so glad you're here.
Well, I just never would have. I'd still be hurting. I'd still be going through all the motions of therapy and this and that, and no way. This Thanksgiving, I can put my head up and down.
Yes.
I hit my head on this cabinet. So, I mean,
Good.
It's been really, really good. I have nothing, only positive, and it keeps getting better every day, and literally every day goes by. I go, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that, and you know what I mean? It's just, it's like I don't know, like Merlin, like magician. I don't know, but it feels great. Good. It feels so good. I would tell anybody, please try it. Awesome. I would rather you try it for a month first before you make any decisions, but if only 2 weeks is all you can give it that. Awesome. Because you're going to feel better. I can guarantee it, and you'll never want to stop coming.
Good. Well, thank you so much, Stacey, for
thanks for
telling us your story.
I could go on and on. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have